Alright everyone, and we are back. He believed it since the day he was born. The boy had accepted it as his own duty, never dreading or doubting the druid's words. That's right. That was the part that I feared that made me grieve. It was not a noble act of choosing glory while knowing the death it will bring. It was the hero that would not even attempt to change such an unnatural fate that I feared.
参りました。私は何度もあの昔話を読んだのに、そんなことさえ思わなかった。昔話の少年とあなたはどこか似ているのかもしれませんね。
失敬な。私はそこまで考えなしではない。
え？
I couldn't believe my eyes. The priest muttered with a frown, as if I had hurt his feelings. I believe that was the first time I had seen him display human-like emotion.
なんだ？異論があるとでも？
いえ、今のは失言でした。私が言いたいのは生き方の話です。少年に確信があったように、あなたも人生に確信を持っている人ですから。
ほう？確信とはどんな？
誰も必要としていないところ。あなたには最後まで自分だけで生きていく覚悟がある。本当は私の手を借りなくてもいいのです。ただ効率がいいから付き合っているだけでしょうに。
Once again, a melancholic smile appeared on the priest's face. That affirmation brought a tinge of pain to me, however a little. It was only our third mission. Barely 10 days had passed, yet I had already felt painfully aware of the kind of person that he was. This man would absolutely not associate with a human being. He needed no one. He hated no one. As strong as a human could possibly be, he was an alien that one's common sense would be telling you to stay away from. But it's also precisely why he had no hidden face. Evil described him perfectly in one word. Even now, I still do not know how I got charmed by such a dangerous man. This is what I thought, however. Should I, by some chance, make this man who needs no one somehow attached to me? It would bring me a peace of mind far superior to anything material.
どうした？考え事か？まったく悩み事が多い女だ。話が済んだのなら眠っておけ。1時間半で交代しよう。
Thus said the priest, throwing more wood into the fire. All of a sudden,
あいにく凡人なもので、私はあなたのように自信を持って生きられない。つまらない疑問だらけだ。時に生きていることさえ苦しく思える。
I let slip much older, much deeper truth within me. Another piece of wood went to the fire. I'd made a mistake. I was sure he was disappointed now. My ability to handle a machine-like role was the only reason he ever called out to me. Someone like me who whined about my troubles to total strangers was unnecessary to him. Heavy silence fell between us. I was too afraid to look at him. And then, as if nothing at all had happened,
生きているのが苦しいのではない。君は呼吸をするのが厳しいのだ。
this was told to me in an emotionless yet sincere voice.
その厳しさは容易には取り除けない。自分がわからないのなら、世界を知って測る以外に方法はないからだ。バゼット・フラガン・マクレミッツ。自身がこの世界に不要だと思うのならば、お前はお前を許すために多くの世界を巡らねばならない。
Cross the oceans, fly the skies. Throw away your tiny self, your tiny country, and go around the globe with a single suitcase, is what he was saying. Like the age of discovery. Like a seaman that believes in yet unknown paradise beyond this sea.
あなたは渡った？
My reply came naturally, because I had belief, as he would say. I believed that there must have been a time when, just the same as me, he found it hard to breathe.
いや、まだ途中だ。若い頃に躍起になったが、 何年か前に大きな事件があってね、それ以来己を許す必要はなくなった。
A major incident. It did not seem to be related to hunting magi. This priest had experienced a great war that was unknown to me.
それであなたは何を許そうとしたの？
生まれつきの悪癖だよ。私はどうも物事を愛することができなくてね、人並みの道徳が欠如している。その間違いを容認できなかった。
The priest wasn't speaking about the past. This man remained unable to love even to that day.
それは解決しなくてよかったのですか？
ああ、人並みに愛情は持てずとも物事を美しいと感じることはできる。その基準は君たちとは違うが、愛情というものがあることに変わりはない。我ながら間の抜けた話だ。そんなことにさえ若い私は気づかなかった。
There was no hesitation in the priest's voice. He may have lamented the past, but he considered it done and over with.
では今はもう迷いはないと。
そうだな。今は己を許すのではなく、私という人間を容認したわけを知りたい。私にもし自分の人生があるのなら、残るすべての時間を答えを得るために使おうと思っている。
けどあなたの疑問に答えられる人はいないのでしょう？
そうだな。まだ答えを出せる者は生まれていない。いつかその機会が訪れるといいのだが。
His expression was warm and gentle. The priest was gazing at the bright flames like a father admiring his own child.
意外ですね。あなたにもまだ悩みがあったとは。私も少し自信がつきました。
Touched by the warmth of his smile, I couldn't help but smile myself.
それは結構。人生の先輩として役に立ったのなら幸いだ。
He closed his eyes for satisfaction. That was it for pointless talk. Returning to our respective roles, we prepare for tomorrow's battle.
では先に眠ります。時間になったら起こしてください。
承知している。敵地だからな。あまり夢を見ないことだ。
I closed my eyes. Perhaps due to fatigue, my sleep was unexpectedly deep. I dreamed of my hometown. A dream of getting aboard a ship in a grave-out abandoned port and leaving for a foreign land. That was my last conversation with the priest. From then on, we stopped running into each other. But there will be another chance. We matched each other well as competitors. For as long as he remains alive and I continue my sealing designations job, one day surely our conversation will continue. Little did you know. Next, I'm gonna mine you. Okay. Speaking of, guys, so I wanted to talk about this, but I wanted to let the whole Kotomine and Bazette conversation flow over until it was complete and done over with. But there was a second intro that popped up, and it showed a quick glimpse. To some of you that already played and saw this, saw through the whole of the game, you already know what I'm talking about. But I saw a glimpse of Shiro. And I had to pause that video because it caught me off guard. And I saw, and it makes perfect sense of what happened in the battle prior with what's her name, Karen, and why Shiro was acting a little out of character. The glimpse I saw in that intro was of Shiro covered in shadowed like tattoos or runes or what have you, and then behind him is the silhouette of Avenger. That's a pretty big tell. And with the way Shiro was acting in the battle with Karen earlier, how he was starting to lose it and started to get more into violence, that was very similar to Avenger's attitude. So I'm here thinking, Which makes perfect sense again, because there were certain times in the game where people were saying Shiro wasn't acting like himself. This whole time, this may be Avenger in disguise. My only question is how the hell did that happen? And why does it seem like Shiro's body was possessed? Because it seems like he believes himself to be Shiro. I don't know. I'm just, like, that's what I got. Alright, I got some story. Oh, we got more story. Oh my god. Let's meet up with Karen. Damn it. Do I want to big bridge this, or do I want to see Karen first? Screw it, we're going to Karen. No signs of people in the plaza. The house of God stands quiet, no visitors in sight. This place stands far away from the world. Further still from heaven, a place of confession for the lost. A girl unknown to me is waiting at the church. Whether it is the first time or the last, it has no meaning here. She is something that never existed to begin with. She is everywhere and nowhere, just like him. The flow of time is irrelevant here. If I'm not mistaken, I am visiting this place for the first time. Yes. Ooh. I got a lot to ask her about. I don't know anything about the person I'm about to meet. All I know is her name and the tense atmosphere that surrounded her. Karen. The sound of that name is like a delicate piece of glasswork, reminiscent of her figure. I opened the door. The sunlight from the window on the ceiling whites out my vision, blinding me. Uninhabited chapel. There. I can see a nun affectionately playing a melody on the organ. Did she not notice my arrival? She does not pause in her performance, nor play a single wrong note. Without rising to greet her visitor, the woman remains dutifully at her task. A slight dizziness comes over me. Is it because of the high ceiling? The music of the organ reverberates throughout the chapel, filling the space with sound. I was about to walk up to the organ, but then had a sudden change of heart. I sit down in the very back rows of pews. It will be over soon anyway. It doesn't seem like it's one of those performances that lasts for hours. I can just wait for it to end. The tedium of the piece dulls my ability to think. It's so peaceful, it's making me sleepy. As I sit there dozing off, I surrender myself to the music worked by the woman's fingers. It's just an ordinary hymn, nothing noteworthy about it. There's nothing special about her fingerwork, nor is her performance imbued with any emotion. She simply plays. It's as if she's performing a daily chore. This performance, it's as though she's praying. So this is what those who come to worship are touched by. The house of God built by the hands of men. And a song of glory in his name, written by a pen held in a human hand. The men of centuries past have endeavored to express something sacred by way of performances like this. In order to believe and to make others believe as well, they gathered to create these spaces so far removed from those familiar in daily life. The cornerstone of a shared illusion, the crystallization of prayer for tranquility and forgiveness of daily trespasses. From that point of view, this place could be called an appropriate boundary for the eyes of God to rest upon. Even non-believers should be able to feel divine presence in here. However, I'm afraid I feel nothing holy in this place. The image it brings to mind is that of a ruin, nothing more. What can I compare it to but a wasteland devoid of human life?
飽きそう。
I prop my head up with both hands and remain seated, waiting in a daze for the hymn to end. God in ruins, huh? Well, whichever it may be, both of them are hollow. The performance that grated on my ears is over. The woman rises from the bench, and the pipe organ disappears from the chapel. That's right, The church never had an exquisite organ in it in the first place. It's probably something she had brought here. A woman with the ability to bring something that huge and make it disappear is right up there with Castor in terms of mysteriousness. Not at all surprised by my presence, she walks briskly towards the pew where I sit. I thought she hadn't noticed me, but it looks like she knew all along that I was here.
ようこそエミヤシロ。見ての通りの廃屋ですが、できる限り歓迎します。確か、そう。喉が渇いているのなら、何か用意をしてあげますが。
結構。別にお茶を飲みに来たわけじゃない。
そうですか。他に歓迎の作法を知らないので、必要なものがあれば言ってください。
She's acting almost as if her feelings have been hurt. This girl, she said she was watching me, but is this her first time greeting a visitor?
では、挨拶から始めましょう。あなたがセイバーのマスターであることは承知していますから、あなたの素性を語る必要はありません。あなたはどうですか？私が名乗る必要はありますか？
いや、それも結構。名前ならもう知ってる。聞きたいことだけ聞いたら帰るから自己紹介はしなくていい。
I answer her concisely. Perhaps she is surprised by something as our conversation suddenly stops.
あのさ、俺から話をしていいのか？
ええ。質問があるのでしたらどうぞ。私はあなたに聞くべきことはありません。いえ、一つできましたが、それはどうでもいいことです。
あっそ。ならさっさと済ませよう。疑問の引き伸ばしはもうたくさんだ。
There are three things I intend to ask. I start with the first.
それじゃ一つ目。カレンって言ったな。あんたは何者なんだ？どこから何の目的で冬季にやってきたんだよ。ただの観光客だなんて言い訳は通らないぜ。
私はこの教会の公認代理です。本来私程度では教会を任されることはないのですが、今回に限り期限付きでこの教会を任されました。あなたたち魔術師から見た敵側の代行者といえばわかりますか？
代行者って教会の実戦部隊とかいうやつか。異端、魔術師を一方的に糾弾して処理するっていう殺し屋？
いいえ、表向きの意味での代行です。私には代行者ほどの能力はありません。この教会の前任は優れた代行者だったそうですが、私には異端を断罪する権限も実力もない。私は教会の命を受け、この町の調査をしに来ただけの見習いです。
見習いね。何？そんなのにお使いをさせるなんて、教会ってのは人手不足なのか？そりゃお使いの内容にもよるけどさ、見てくるだけなら犬でもでき。
適材適所ということです。私は確かに一階の修道女ですが、適任であるから派遣されたのです。私に与えられた仕事は、再び観測された聖杯の調査。第5次聖杯戦争において消滅した聖杯の有無を体をもって確認する。
オーケー。見習いは見習いでも見込みのある見習いってことね。納得いったんで手を離してくんない？
あなたの口ぶりは勘に触りますが、疑いがないのはいいことです。いいでしょう。許します。
She quickly lowers her hands and takes a step back. That really came out of the blue. That woman with nary an expression on her face just walked right up to me and used both hands to squeeze my face. Had I continued to make fun of her in that position, I dare say she might have headbutted me.
聖杯が観測された。まあ、そのあたりは教会のやることだからな。 いちいち聞かないぜ。問題は教会があんたを派遣したってことだ。派遣する以上、聖杯がもう一度出てきたって確証があってのことだよな。で、聖杯だけど、あんたはもう見つけたのか？
聖杯らしきものが機能していることは確認しましたが、確保はできていません。私に与えられた役割は調査ですから、これ以上のことは私の部を超えています。
それじゃあ聖杯を奪取してどうこうしようって気はないのか？なんだ、聖杯があるかないかの調査って言うんなら、目的はもう果たしてるってこと？
ここに派遣された任務は果たしています。ですが、形式上とはいえ、私はこの教会の代行を任されました。冬木の町が異常であるのなら、これを解決しなければなりません。
矛盾してんな。聖杯を確保する気はないけど、聖杯が起こしている問題は解決したいってこと？
あなたほどではありません。断っておきますが、今回は2つの役職が重なった結果です。聖杯の調査とこの町の司祭代行。任された以上は両立しなくてはなりません。
へえ、あんたの意思じゃなく仕事ってわけね。それで俺を呼びつけたってことか。いいね。ビジネスライクを大いに結構。安っぽい正義感より何倍もいい。で、聖杯はどこにあるんだ？場所知ってるんだろ？
その弦には横島なものが感じられます。あなたには教えません。
She turns away from me. Looks like she isn't impressed.
別にいいけど。じゃあ2つ目の質問な。あの怪物は何なんだ？また聖杯が出てきたことと町の異常とあの怪物たちは関係あるんだろう？
それは言えません。約束がありますから。それに私が教えてはあなたの誇りを汚してしまう。
Well, I really don't value my pride that much. Besides, my pride would already be hurt the moment I asked the question. In other words, I'm prepared to cheat if that's what it takes to get full marks.
不愉快そうですね。力ずくで聞き出しますか？
だからあんたには興味ないって言ってるだろ。力ずくなんて言ったらほら。
Like I want to violate her out of anger and hatred.
いいよ、無理には聞かない。けどあれは何なんだよ。あんたさ、体からあの怪物を出してなかった？
I don't know about it, but it must have happened at least once. Come to think of it, something's up with her. Yeah, she's blushing now. She's not scared of the monster she gets hurt for no apparent reason. She even makes monsters appear. Yeah, but she's more like a stage magician than a magus.
それは誤解です。エミヤシロ、あなたは悪魔つきという言葉を知っていますか？
悪魔つき？
I've heard of it. It's a kind of spiritual damage that's well known in the Western world. The Japanese equivalent would be something like being possessed by a fox or a dog spirit. A non-human something invades a human and starts destroying them from the inside, similar to a curse. The symptoms are too numerous to describe, but in the Western world, they are all caused by the concept of demons. For reasons unknown to humankind, demons tend to possess people who are considered virtuous. Compared to the Japanese concept of possession, which is based on the will of the cursed caster, the Western one has no will at all. It's a phenomenon that occurs similar to a traffic accident. Those who are possessed are often ordinary virtuous men. Their minds are eroded by the demons who enter them. They disparage morality and teachings of God, and they terrorize those around them. Not by direct violence, but by showing them what raw, ugly creatures humans become just by being stripped of reason. Those are only the initial symptoms, however. Those who have been afflicted for a while won't be corrupted on the mental level alone. A severe case of possession causes a change even in outward appearance. The formless thing that possessed the victim will try to project itself upon the human body. The change begins from developing the level of body control that is unthinkable for a normal human being, and ends with mutation of body parts. The changes depend on the class of the thing. The stronger the demon is, the further away from human the victim transforms. But fortunately, a demon cannot be resurrected in a human body. A person who is possessed will be forced into an unnatural transformation and simply die as a result. The westerns depicted demons all look rather weird. Two heads, hooves, or limbs arranged into a shape of a hexagram. Definitely not something a human with only one set of arms and legs could imitate. However, they say there are some rare cases of humans who can resist the transformation. It's similar to how magi that crave knowledge can become vampires. There are apparently heretics who extend their lifespan by making use of the thing that continues to devour the blueprint known as their soul. Then this woman.
それも誤解です。関係のない話ですが、私の仕事はエクソシストの助手でした。私は悪魔に取りつかれたことなどないし、この先も取りつかれることはないでしょう。魔の温床は健全な肉体です。私の体では彼らは目を吹くことができないのですから。
ならなんで悪魔つきなんて言い出すんだ？あんたの体悪魔つきって言うんなら割と納得いくんだけどな。
ポルカミセーリア。
なんか今すごく口汚いこと言わなかったか？
せっかちな人ねと言ったのよ。本題はこの後です。おとなしく聞いてください。悪魔つきはさまざまな霊障を引き起こします。ラップ音、ポルターガイストといった周囲への干渉から取り付いた人体への干渉、それは悪魔の温床となった人間にのみ発現する病と言えるでしょう。ウイルスのように周囲の人間には広がらない毒です。
当たり前だろ。つきものが風のように空気感染していたら今頃まっとうな人間はいなくなる。
そうですね。けれど霊感の強い人間が魔を感知できるように、魔に疲れた人間に近づいただけで同じ霊障を起こしてしまう人間もいます。率直に言って私のことですが、私は悪魔と呼ばれるものに近づくと、その悪魔が起こす霊障を再現する特異体質者です。飛逆霊媒体質と私の師は言っていました。
No pause or hesitation. Karen has just said something that might send me into a major depression if I think about it too hard.
何？要するに悪魔の近くに行くと悪魔になるってこと？
頭の悪い回答ですが、正解としておきましょう。正しくは自動的に魔の霊障を再現するということです。例えばあなたが風邪に感染したとします。まだ発病は先なので少し体が重い程度だとしましょう。そういう人の近くに行くと、私はその病気が起こすであろう病状を発現します。言ってしまえば病人が2人に増えるということです。あなたには危害を加えてしまったようですが、根本的に人に迷惑をかける体質ではありません。どうぞ今後は気にしないように。
どうぞって言われてもな。まあ元から気にしてないけど騙し討ちはなしだぞ。なんかあんたに近づくと痛い目を見るって体が怖がってる。
そうでしょうね。私は慢性的な悪魔つきですから。あなたならともかく 怪物が近くに来れば影響を受ける。怖いのなら怪物が近くにいるときは私から離れることです。